When people talk about wanderlust, they usually mean a deep-seated desire to travel. But for Percy Fawcett, wanderlust was more than just a yearning for faraway places. It was a way of life, a compulsion that drove him beyond the familiar shores of Victorian England and into the unknown wilds of South America. He became an explorer, an archaeologist, a man obsessed with uncovering the secrets of lost civilizations, even if it meant sacrificing everything he had ever known and loved. In this episode, we are going to talk about one of the greatest explorers in history. The story is filled with many twists and turns, so make sure to watch until the end. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more great stories. Fawcett's story began in 1867, in the heart of Victorian England, a time when exploration was at the height of its fashion. Born into a middle-class family in the bustling town of Stratford, Essex, young Percy was destined for a life of quiet respectability, or so everyone thought. Unlike his peers, Percy did not want to be a lawyer or a banker. He wanted to explore. And so when he turned 19, he joined the Royal Navy, hoping to see the world. For the next 5 years, Fawcett traveled to far-flung corners of the British Empire, from the icy wastelands of the Arctic Circle to the steamy jungles of the Amazon. He saw more than most people do in a lifetime, and he learned a lot. But when his contract ended, he left the Navy and returned home with a heavy heart. Now that he was back in England, he was faced with the daunting task of finding a job. But Fawcett was not daunted. He knew that his skills as an explorer were in high demand, and soon he was hired by the Royal Geographical Society to lead an expedition to the unexplored regions of the Amazon. It was here in the remote jungles of South America that Fawcett made his first significant discovery. While exploring the area, he came across evidence of a lost civilization that had once thrived in the region, and this discovery sparked a lifelong obsession. Fawcett became convinced that there was much more to the Amazon than met the eye, that beneath its lush canopy lay the secrets of a forgotten past. From that moment on, Fawcett dedicated his life to uncovering the mysteries of the Amazon, poring over old maps and books, searching for clues that would lead him to the lost city. When his Royal Geographical Society contract ended, he went home, empty-handed. He could have given up on his dream of discovering the lost city, but instead he did something that shocked everyone who knew him. He decided to return to the Amazon and continue his search. This time, he would not be funded by a prestigious society. He would do it all himself. To raise money for his expedition, Fawcett sold everything he owned, including his house and all of his worldly possessions. Then he set off into the jungle with only a few companions and a handful of supplies. For weeks, months even, he hacked his way through the dense undergrowth, battling, biting, ants, deadly snakes, and malaria. But still he pressed on, driven by an insatiable curiosity. Then one day in 1926, just as Fawcett was about to give up hope, he saw it. Through the trees, he caught a glimpse of something that made his heart race. An ancient stone structure half hidden in the foliage. With trembling hands, Fawcett brushed away the vines and dirt to reveal an inscription. It was a carving of a face, weathered and worn by the elements, but undeniably human. In that moment, Fawcett knew he had stumbled upon something truly special. He had found evidence of the lost civilization he had been searching for, but what he didn't know was that this was just the beginning. As Fawcett and his team explored further, they uncovered more and more artifacts, each one more fascinating than the last. They found pottery shards, tools, weapons, even jewelry. It was clear that they had stumbled upon a place of great importance, a city of great wealth and culture. With each new discovery, Fawcett's excitement grew, as did his determination to uncover the full story of this lost civilization. He named the place Z, and from that point on, it became his life's work. He spent years excavating the site, carefully brushing away the dirt and recording every detail. He also brought in experts from around the world to help him analyze the artifacts and try to piece together the history of the city. And slowly but surely, they began to get answers. They learned that the city had been built by a people who had come from the Andes Mountains, that they had thrived for centuries, and that their culture had been rich and complex. They also learned that the city had been abandoned, quite suddenly, and that no one knew why. As Fawcett and his team continued their excavations, they uncovered more evidence of the city's former glory. They found temples and palaces, tombs and artifacts, all of which hinted at a lost world of unimaginable beauty and sophistication. Fawcett was thrilled, but he knew that the best was yet to come. He just needed to find the right path. The early 1930s were a heady time for Fawcett. He was on the cusp of a major breakthrough, having discovered the ruins of several cities and gaining international recognition for his work. But he was not content to rest on his laurels. Instead, he set his sights on a new challenge: the uncharted regions of the Bolivian jungle. No one had ever explored these areas before. They were a complete mystery, and Fawcett was determined to solve them. What followed was one of the greatest adventures in exploration history. Fawcett and his small team disappeared into the green hell, determined to chart the unknown. They fought against starvation, hostile tribes, and the relentless jungle itself, all for the sake of knowledge. Through their hard work and dedication, they produced detailed maps of the uncharted regions and made significant contributions to our understanding of the Amazon basin. But it was not without its costs. Fawcett's health began to deteriorate, and he knew that he would never recover. Despite this, he refused to give up. He continued to explore, to map, and to discover until the very end. And then it happened. In 1927, while crossing the Rio Abunari in Bolivia, Fawcett and his team were attacked by a jaguar. The big cat knocked Fawcett off his horse and dragged him into the water where it drowned him. His body was never recovered. News of Fawcett's disappearance sent shockwaves around the world. People mourned the loss of a great explorer, an adventurer who had dared to venture where no one had gone before. But his legacy lived on in his discoveries, in the detailed maps and notes that he had left behind, and in the inspiration he had given to generations of explorers. After Fawcett's death, his son Jack took over his father's work. Jack was determined to follow in his father's footsteps and continue his exploration of the Amazon. He assembled a team of experts and set off into the jungle, hoping to find Fawcett's lost city. For years, Jack searched, but he came up empty. Just when he was about to give up hope, he discovered something that made his heart race, a faint trail leading into the jungle. Could this be the path to Z? With renewed determination, Jack followed the trail deeper and deeper into the jungle. It was a long and arduous journey, but finally he saw through the trees a glimpse of something that made his breath catch in his throat. It was Fawcett's lost city, just as his father had described it. Overjoyed, Jack rushed forward, eager to explore the ruins. As he walked among the crumbling stones, he could feel the presence of his father, the excitement, the wonder, the sense of discovery. It was as if Fawcett was there with him, sharing in his joy. But Jack was not alone. There were others who wanted to find Fawcett's city. He had attracted the attention of looters and treasure hunters, who were willing to do anything to get their hands on the riches of the lost civilization. Jack knew he had to act fast. He and his team began excavating the site, carefully brushing away the dirt and documenting everything they found. They uncovered temples and palaces, tombs and artifacts, all of which hinted at a lost world of unimaginable beauty and sophistication. But they were not the only ones to stumble upon the ruins. A group of looters led by a ruthless mercenary named Miguel had also found their way to the site, and they were not interested in preserving the ruins. They wanted to plunder them. A tense standoff ensued between Jack and his team and the looters, with both sides determined to claim the ruins for themselves. But in the end, it was Jack who prevailed. The looters were driven away, and the ruins were preserved. Jack's discovery of his father's lost city brought him international fame and recognition. He was hailed as a hero for saving the ruins from the looters, and for bringing to light the secrets of a forgotten civilization. But he knew that the real hero was his father, Percy Fawcett, the eccentric explorer who had dared to dream of a lost city in the heart of the Amazon. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, don't forget to leave a comment below with your thoughts and suggestions. We will see you next time.